So this one is box number 2. This is your napkin box, or it can be for whatever you want it to be, obviously. But you can make it wider, you can make it bigger and pop napkins in, just a nice place to just pop them into, or it could be for keys, it can be for whatever you want. It's a box, isn't it? You'll decide what you want. So we're going to do this one. I'm going to pop that to one side, and for this one we have 2 nets. So we have the base of the box that we're going to do first, and if you're looking at my face on and you see this, it's a light. I need a light. I'm getting old, guys. I can't see the way I used to. So I've brought a light in if you're wondering what that is. So this is your box base net. All right. Now you'll see here I've got the front, the base, a side, and a back. I'm not suggesting that you draw all these out like I have, but you could do if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you, and it just gives you a visual of where you're working to. Alternatively, what you can do is work with your scan and cut in front of you and have the net on the screen so that you can see which bit needs to go where, because you've got the shape of it then. And then these pieces here, I've written RI across here. These are the reinforcements. Now, because this is a net, which is one piece with all the score lines put into it, these are actually joined in. So your solid lines are your cut lines, and your perforated lines are where it's going to fold, okay? When you're doing this with the resize files, which are separate pieces, so I'll bring these in and show you now. So you've got the back and the side, so you can see there. Now there's always going to be another tab that attaches that to the front. So just remember that when you're working. And a tab will always, without exception, go to a straight edge. You never put 2 tabs together, okay? So it will always go to a straight edge. I might eat my words now, and there might be one further down the line that actually does, but for now it doesn't. So back, side, and then I've got the front, the base, and the side as another piece, and that will go on there. And then the reinforcement pieces, which I'm not going to bother gluing in today because you know it is what it is, are separate pieces that are then going to go on here like that. Okay, so they're going to slot inside your box to give it some strength. So we can get rid of these pieces now because we're not going to use those today, and we can start gluing this down. And I just think it's a really good idea to have either the net on your screen or at the side of you. Just it takes away that what bit goes where. Okay, so let's go for the side onto the front first of all. And when I look at this, I go, right, that's the front, that's got to be the base. So that's got to be a side, because the side will be at the next to the front. And then on this side, you want another side that's going to go like that. And then that's got to be the back, okay? So just work it through. So what I'm going to do now is line this up. And it depends how you like to work. You can either lift it up to glue it together, or you can do it flat like this. I do a mixture of both. It depends what mood I'm in, to be honest. And then we've got our back, side, front, side, and base. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is turn this around, and I'm going to take this tape off the base. And remember, piece of kitchen roll at the side of you, if you're using red liner tape, pull it off with your tweezers and just put it on the kitchen roll. It's amazing. It obviously counteracts the static. Like that. Oh, love that idea. I can't remember which viewer it was that emailed in, but if you're watching this, a huge thank you. Right, so now I'm trying to work in a logical order, but I've also got to work the way I can see it. So I've got the side and the base. So I'm going to glue that to there, and I'm making sure that the edge of the side, so the flat edge, is lining up with the perforation. And then I'm going to bring this side over and work with this, and just make sure that I'm pushing it so that it's straight, and press that side in. And then all I need to do then is fold that tab in, and then I need to take the glue off this tab. So I need to do these 2 at once. And the thing with red liner tape is if you don't press it down hard, you still have a little bit of wiggle time. Not a lot, not as much as wet glue, but it's kind of where you're comfortable with. So I'm now getting that corner in, I'll do it this way around, then I can actually see where I'm going. That will help. So a good little tip when you're trying to do 2 tabs at the same time is to push this one right back and almost hold it, and then put the bottom in place like that, so you get that nice and level, and then let go of that tab and then work with that one there. Okay, and then you can get your hand inside and just flatten it. So that is the base of our box. Okay, those are our reinforcement pieces that would go inside of there. So you can see if I take the front one, for example, it's going to cover over the tabs inside and it's going to fit in there perfectly and just give it that little bit of strength like that. Okay, so if you want to put those in, you can. Don't forget as well, it's going to have patterned panels and decorative panels on the outside. So the decorative panel is the white one with the decorative edge, and the patterned panel is the black one that goes on top. But I've taught you all that in the education. So that's our base done. So let's put that to one side and let's bring in the net for the lid. Okay, so again, you've got the top, the side, the front, the side, the back, and your reinforcements. That's if you make it from the builder box, a simple one. Okay, when you're doing it with your resize pieces, you will have your lid top, your side and your back, like that, and your side and your front, like that. Okay, so we know where we need to stick. So let's do that bit. Now there won't be a tab here because these pieces fold back like that. All right, and then that reinforces. And the reason that we've done a net is, one of the reasons is so that you can see what goes where, and it gives you a guide. And we've then done the resize files. So there is a little bit of movement in the net, as in you could bring some nets onto a 12 by 12 mat and change the size a few times. Or you could rotate it and put it on a 12 by 24 inch mat, but I didn't want to assume that everybody had a 12 by 24 inch mat. But with the resize pieces, if I bring this in, this is your net, and this is the same piece as a resize file. So once you place everything on top of each other in a pile, which I've taught you again in the education, you've got much more scope to resize. All right, so just a brief reminder of that. If you haven't watched the education, please do before you start the boxes, because that's really important. And then the top is going to go, bring this net, I'm going to put the net there. Let me work on top of this, actually, that might make it even easier. There you go, I can see a bit better now. So the top there goes over the front. All right, so I'm going to take this tape off, pop it on my kitchen roll. I need to know how that works now, how it stops that static, because I'm inquisitive. And then you can either bend it back and do it that way, so you're working to the perforation, or you can keep it flat. You'll know, you'll have made loads of boxes in the past, so you'll know whatever works for you. And of course, you're not doing it to work to a camera either. Right, so I'm going to turn that over and give that a good press down, because I've got that bit now. Now we're going to put our lid together before we put our reinforcements inside, because then the reinforcements will cover over all the tabs and it will make it look neater inside. So I'm going to take that piece off there, and that first side is then going to go the side of the lid. And then we're going to do the next side. Take that off there, bend that over and position that side. And unlike, well, no, probably the same as card making, but boxes, you have to be accurate, because otherwise everything doesn't fold in. So take your time with it. Don't just think, oh, I can't do it, I'm not that good. You are. You absolutely are. Just take your time, okay? So now I'm going to take the long piece off, like that. And this tab bit off as well, so I've got some tissue stuck on my tweezers. So let's take this tab off as well. Oh, I tell you, if somebody could reinvent red liner tape that was easy to get the backing off, they'd make millions. Right, there we go. So we're going to tuck that one back under like we did before on the base. I'm going to do that top bit first, get my hand inside and press that down, and then do the side tab there, like that. Okay, so then we have our lid, but it looks a bit strange because we've now got all our reinforcers here. So I'm just going to take my scissors and snip that. Put my red liner tape on, and I forgot to snip in between the bits. And then open this out. Okay, take the red liner tape off, tuck them in one side at a time. Now you might have to, yeah, you might have to just pull your box, that's it, and slide that in. And then slide that one in. So we just pull the side of the box. You will be amazed at how much welly you can give a piece of card and it still stays, it doesn't tear. It always amazes me how you can really manipulate card, pulling it and pulling it. And even with perforation lines in, I'm using a 280 GSM black card. It's a really nice weight for construction because you want your box to be sturdy. And then that's our lid. So you've got the front of the lid top, back, side and side. And then that will just go over there. Now we have made these boxes so that they give you room to put all your mats and layers on. All right, so if you make one and you think that lid's a little bit loose, it's because we've left space underneath to be able to get all the mats and layers on. And the mats and layers that we've done is we've used 280 on black and white. So we know that it's going to be the right size once you've got all your layers on. That was really important. But that's a really nice little box that you could expand, make it wider without making it taller, or make it taller without making it wider. And of course, all those resize possibilities as well. So that's box 2. I'm going to clear up and then we'll do the next one.